Hi College Now and Falcon Tech instructors. I'm back again to do another video, and this time we're going to focus on desire to learn assignments. I did go over this particular tool on Monday, March 16th, but I'm doing another video just so you can focus on assignments only if that's what your need is. So what will we be looking at on the assignments page inside D2L? I'm going to show you how you can organize your assignments with categories so it's easier for students to locate the assignment Dropbox that they need for a particular assignment. I'm going to show you how to set up the assignment where a student would upload a file. Usually assignments in D2L are, well, I'll put it to you this way. It used to be called the Dropbox tool, the assignment Dropbox. So it still sort of works like a Dropbox, where students can attach files the same way they upload files when they're doing an email attachment. So I'll show you how to set all of that up and some of the settings that you can select for the assignment Dropboxes you will use with your students. And then we'll look very, very quickly at how you can provide feedback to students in the assignment Dropbox. All right, so let me get to D2L. You see I'm uploading videos like a crazy woman because I'm just making videos all day long. All right, so I'm going to go into my English class. I've already met with my students synchronously on Saturday, and we talked about the transition to online learning, and I gave them an overview of assignments. So I am inside my English 122 shell. Assignments can be found under Activities. Click on Assignments. You go to the Assignments page. It's going to take a moment for that to load, I'm sure. Awesome. So I want to show you a little bit of my setup. I have set up categories. So these are Dropboxes we used in class prior to the online transition. These are Dropboxes associated with the essay we're working on now. My students are allowed to revise their essays one time after they're graded, so they're working on one revision now. I've extended the deadline. I just haven't changed the deadline here. And then they do an assignment called Error Log. So I've set up categories to help them to navigate the Dropboxes so they can find the Dropboxes a little easier. So let's say I want to add a category. Let's say I have my 3 up here and I'm going to add one other. So a category that I could add, I added a test please ignore yesterday. So if I want to add a category, and I'm not going to really add this one, I'll just show you how you do it. Let's say I wanted to do something with evaluating sources, okay? So I would have a category, and any Dropbox that I wanted to associate with this category, I would do so, and then I would have, a really organized page. So I hit create. I'm not going to, I'm going to cancel out, but I'll show you where the categories come back into play in just a second. So you have to set up a category in order to help yourself organize your page, your assignments page that way. All right, so let's say I have all my categories set up. Want to start a new folder. So for some reason, instead of saying new assignment, D2L says new folder. That's what we click on just to set up an assignment Dropbox or an assignment folder where students will submit. So let's say I'm going to call this one Essay 205. It seems that we've done 205 essays. Here you can type instructions. I want to give you a little heads up on, you can insert things, you can put pictures in to make it more exciting. You can also insert links that are already on, links to content already on the content page under course materials and content. So check this out. I've already posted the instructions for essay 3. Let's pretend I've said this is essay 205, but I really only have 3. So let's say this is essay 205's instruction sheet. I can select it. I'm going through sort of the breadcrumb trail of where this instruction sheet is available or where it's located in the course. So that's why I went through so many screens there. So I'll do it again. I can add a bullet point there and write read the review. Let's do review the instructions. Okay. Here's where I'm typing the instructions, that kind of thing. Let me do that one more time so you can see. This works exactly the same way on announcements. You click the chain link because we're going to insert a quick link to something that's already in the course. I can do it with discussion boards. I can do it with stuff on content. Let's say I want them to watch a video, review one of the videos that I posted while we were working on this assignment. So I can do that. And you see, I just go through all my folders that are on content to get to the content I need them to review. So, I can be giving them these instructions. Also review this video before you submit. Okay. So you can type anything you want up here. Here's a really cool tool, and I did start using this with my students in English 122, so they can hear me give the instructions as well as reading the instructions. We know that some students do better because they're auditory learners. So you can click record audio. It gives you the ability to record, I think, for 2 to 3 minutes. I don't think it's opening for some reason. Maybe I didn't click it right, but I'm going to ignore that. The video does not work, but you can, oh, there it goes. You can record instructions and then give your students an audio file to listen to. I'm not going to wait much longer. There it goes. So you hit new recording. It starts. Oh, you only have a minute, but you should be able to give brief instructions in under a minute. You click add, the link to the audio shows up right underneath the instructions here. So think about using that as well. All right, submission type, probably always individual unless you're having a group assignment. So I usually don't change anything there because my students are submitting individual essays this semester. Submission type is always a file submission. And here's where we have some choices to make. You can allow students to submit an unlimited number of times or one file per submission. I find giving students only one chance to upload a file stresses them out. And then they start emailing me files that they meant to upload, and then it's just not easy to manage all those files via email. So I give unlimited chances to submit files. Students forget to add something and they remember later, and then they come and update their file. You can also allow students to see all the files they submit, and that's the option I choose. And I tell students that they can submit as many times as they want as long as they meet the deadline. And then I tell them that I will look at the most recent file. The most recent date, most recent time, and I'll ignore the others. But you can select this one, which would allow the system to overwrite. New files would overwrite old files, so you'll still only see one file there. Some students like that. It makes some of them nervous, so that's why I keep all. And then you can select only one submission. But again, this is a stressful time, so I'm going to try to do things that are less stressful for the students. Oh, messing with my hair. Something's bothering me about my hair. Sorry. It's just a thing. When you see yourself recording, you notice weird things about your hair. All right. Nothing needs to happen here. There's a default setting in Desire to Learn where once the student clicks submit to submit their file, they automatically get an email notification. It gets sent to the internal messaging system in D2L. That is located here. I'm not going to open it right now. You can open it yourself. It works just like an email system, except it doesn't send outside of the D2L system, and nothing can be sent inside the D2L system. It's just all inside. It's just a messaging system. So what happens when students click submit is they get a notification there that their submission was accepted by D2L. So that's happening automatically, and I know a lot of students appreciate that notification. Here's where I can organize my thing. Remember I said, I want to organize my page, so I would choose the category where my assignment needs to go under the appropriate assignment. I will add the score for essay 250. Let's make it worth 250 points. If I have a gradebook item already set up, I can choose that gradebook column and connect the gradebook column and this assignment Dropbox together. And then as I'm giving feedback and grading the assignments, I can enter the points directly into the assignment tool, and it will track over to the gradebook, and then I won't have to go to the gradebook and update the points there. So that's a really handy tool. And then you can add a rubric here, but I'm not going to go over the rubric section right now. If you need help with rubrics, let me know. And then you do want to keep this. If you're going to grade inside the Dropbox, you're going to want to make the annotation tools available for the grading and assessment of the student's work. It's really handy. You can add comments right inside the paper, the file that's uploaded, and they can see your comments throughout your paper with those annotations. So I'm done. I'm going to click Save and Close. And we'll notice that under the test, please ignore essay 205, not 250, is available. It has a little lock here because it denotes that this is associated with a gradebook item, and that's what that little symbol means, okay? From the student's standpoint, it looks like this. I recommend you do a view as student with all of the tools you set up so you can make sure that things look the way you want them to. So if I go to assignments, I will see the new Dropbox, and when students click on it to submit a file, they will see the instructions, they will see that they can add their file, they can leave you comments. One quick thing I'll show you about students adding a file is that they have to choose a file, and you might demonstrate this for them because sometimes students don't actually upload anything. So I'm just gonna choose something random. Okay, so this is something that was on the whiteboard in class a few weeks ago. So you saw what I did. I selected the file, I double clicked, now I add it. So now it's inside D2L, but it's not submitted. And then they still have to click submit. So they have to locate the file, click the file, add the file, then add the file again. There's like multiple steps. There's like, 4 or 5 steps there. So you might want to demonstrate that for students. They can send you an audio file. They can send you comments. They will click submit. I'll click submit. I'm going to delete this Dropbox anyway. When students submit, they receive this review assignment submission, and I should get a red dot pretty soon that will indicate that I've received an email. So that's what it looks like. They get the date that it's submitted, the time that it's submitted, proof that it's them, confirmation email sent successfully. It hasn't shown up yet, but it should show up there. There it is. Nope, that's from yesterday. That's not today. Oh, it is today. Today is March 17th. Sorry. So I did get the email. The red dot didn't show up for some reason, but it is there. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Let me get out of student mode and show you what it looks like to grade something. So I am going to pull up a live, I'll pull up something that we've already done in class that I've already assessed. And I didn't assess it in here, so we should be good. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to assess the documents, grade the documents. Okay. So this particular assignment, students did some kind of a self-assessment work. You'll notice that, where am I? I am on, oh, I did this one for one student. That's right. He wanted to turn his in online. So let me go through the other window. I apologize. I forgot that this was only for one student in class one day. I had given them the option to bring a paper printout or a file, and he was the only one that brought the file. So this was a quiz in class that students did in small group, and so one person submitted. But check it out. You can see all the different submissions by the group leader who submitted for the group, and I can click on the first submitter's name, the first student's name, and it should either pull up the file. Yep, it did. So I'm going to now click on the file, and the file is going to load. They did it in a Word document. And once the file loads, there it goes. Here's where you can click for the annotations that you could add into the document. Just going to show you this really quickly. And then you could give the score out of however many points were available. And then you could do some summary feedback here. So I would use annotations for really specific comments inside the draft. You can do a text box, for instance. Let's see how this works. I haven't used this for a while. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay. So I can type on the note here. This is really effective, la la la, whatever I'm gonna say. And then I think when I'm done, I can click outside. Great essay, work on this, and I'm not going to submit any of this, but you click update when you're done, and so the students will get the note.